track and field is about to come back, or at the very least the college kids are, because the NCAA season is about to kick off this weekend, and you're likely going to hear something about it, either on my channel or on a whole bunch of others. But I'm also at a point in my career where perhaps I know a little bit too much, and shout out to all the people who reach out to me. This time it was Derek who put me on game, because yes, it's about time that we have a real conversation about college track and field and what's going on there. I've shared a whole bunch on this channel about the college track situation and how things have been falling apart. I mean, everything from what Sam Seemes had to say at the convention a year ago, that the sport is under siege, and I covered things into the summer about program closures, and I fully expect more to happen in the future. But at the end of the day, we are living in a bubble moment where Quincy Wilson is about to come to college track and field. And trust me, I'm going to come back to that in a moment. But he ain't running this year. And on top of that, yes, we are living in an NIL world. And all of that brings excitement to track and field. I mean, I would like to believe it does. And then there's the NCAA situation. So, I don't like being negative, contrary to popular belief. So, I figured I'm just going to air it out on this video, so I really don't have to get into it in a whole bunch of other ones, at least I hope not, going forward. But if college track is coming back, you're likely not going to hear much about it unless you put a lot of work in to do so. There's a reason why track and field is struggling. And when I say that college track and field is effectively dead, I know it's hyperbole, but that's kind of the truth. Like, in the court of public opinion, our sport, for the most part, doesn't exist. I don't believe it has to be that way. But you can't fix the problem if you don't first admit that you have one. So, allow me to start off with the facts. We're about to have, season kickoffs for indoor track and field. And normally that doesn't matter, but I'm kind of know how this is going to go. Just over the next few weeks, the BU season opener is going to happen where a whole bunch of elite distance runners, the same ones we basically just saw at the cross-country national championship, are going to go up there and try to break collegiate records. I won't be shocked if those records go down. So yes, Jane Hedengren, we're watching you. For that matter, Doris Lemongale, we're watching you. Habton Samuel, all of these athletes, we will be paying attention. I mean, people who really care will be paying attention. But we're likely not going to see those same athletes run again till their conference championship meets. If that. And there's a reason. Because nothing we do in college track and field actually matters, including the conference meet if you're really being honest. I mean, they score points, a trophy goes to somebody, but the national championship push for NCAA indoor is all going to come down to seed times. So if you run fast in the first meet of the year, you basically don't have to do anything else until the national championships. I mean, somebody tell me where I'm wrong about this in the comments. Beyond that, we know that BU is going to happen because they put it on their schedule. But every team in the NCAA doesn't even have an updated schedule for 2025-2026 at this moment. I'm not making this up. At the time I'm recording this video, the University of Georgia doesn't even have their schedule posted. I'm not blaming the coaching staff. However, somebody in that athletic department needs to step their game up. Because if you wanted to be a fan of college track, and Georgia has a lot of top athletes who they recruited, including Maurice Gleaton Jr., who went to the USAs, made it into the relay pool, made the 100-meter final, and now he's running in college. People might want to know when he's going to run, and we don't even know what dates yet, technically speaking. Even if you knew the dates, go look at teams around the nation. Like, it was pointed out to me that they don't even have start times for the meets most of the time. I mean, not like it matters, because these meets run for forever, which is kind of the problem we've been dealing with as to why our sport, specifically, doesn't have fans. Because all of these meets I've already tried to allude to are basically scrimmages. Again, tell me where I'm wrong in the comments. If all we're doing is seed times, we're going to do 12, 15, 20 heats of some of these sprints, and multiple heats of even some of the distance events, where it doesn't really matter what you do in these heats. I mean, yeah, for the athlete individually, again, it's a seed time for conference, I guess, to put you in a lane. But generally, if you just show up to conference and run well, you can win medals. And once again, if you run a seed time that gets you into the NCAAs, then mission accomplished. The rest of the season is effectively practice. I mean, it may not feel that way for the average athlete in Division I, but if you are a hyper-elite athlete, the type who want to win something at NCAAs, that's what we're doing out here. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, because in an NIL world and then people talking about scholarship money and everything else, and some schools are recruiting way harder than others. Like Quincy Wilson, let's go there. Because I'm aware that something I might say from this point going on, if I haven't already, might upset some people. And I'm willing to accept the consequences. So, like I said, let's just keep going. When Quincy Wilson goes to Maryland, the way I see it, and it might work out very well for him. Like, hey, I'm going on record to say that. But I'm also pointing out that he's effectively pretending to be a college kid. And I mean that in a very unique way, because he chose to go to a program that has absolutely no athletic department investment in track and field. The University of Maryland attempted to cut men's track, and they basically did. They got rid of cross country and indoor. They have outdoor track only, and they scored 3 points at the Big Ten Conference Championship meet last year. Dead last in the conference, and everybody was at least 5 times better than them on the point scores. Every single team in the conference on the men's side. Him going there, like, it's a great idea for him and, his training and, Andrew Valman and, maybe, his high school coach from Bullis, like, all of that might be true. But in the court of public opinion around NCAA track and field, the University of Maryland is not a serious program. They just happen to be in the Big Ten thanks to their football team. That is what's actually happening. So when he goes there, again, he says he wants to put Maryland on the map. He's going to have to do it during the outdoor season because he ain't going to be able to do it indoors because they don't run indoors. And they don't really have any scholarship budget. I mean, they might have found some money for him, but the reason their team was as slow as it was up until now, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, is because they weren't giving out significant scholarship dollars, if any, to their sprinting program prior. That's why they were non-competitive in the Big Ten. So the part that nobody wants to admit is that if, at this present moment, where we are in track and field for college, if your goal as a high school recruit is to go to college and get a full ride scholarship for track and field, if that is your goal, remember, Division I is what you want to do, and, track and field is your chosen sport. You chose the wrong sport. Just being real about it. I mean, we can talk about the nuances. Hey, I ran college track. I did. But this is not a sport that you go into it for that, because the opportunities are very few and far between when it comes to getting a full ride scholarship. This is just the way it is. Other sports, football, basketball, like they have way more allocations if your goal is to get a scholarship. You can get to D1 and you can do it and have a great experience competing on a team and seeing what your potential is and all of that, but it still brings us back to the same issue. Nobody notices. College track doesn't have fans. I went to the NCAA regional meet this past year. I didn't see hardly one fan in the place. I saw parents, maybe a cousin who loved you a whole lot. I saw athletes, I saw teammates, I saw coaches. That's it. I didn't see fans. This is the NCAA East Regional for Division I track and field. And the thing that gets me frustrated more than anything is that when we do have a convention from USTFCCCA and Sam Seemes goes up there to say that the sport needs to have real changes and they even evaluate proposals on how to make changes. And he said that if they don't make changes, that people are going to lose jobs, we're going to see program closures, scholarship allocations might get reduced, all of that. And then no change comes. For as far as I understand, whatever change we could have seen was voted down by whoever was there. I mean, well-meaning people, I'm sure. But he said it himself. The time for change was like yesterday. College track and field could be amazing. We have all the talent and even interest level from the high school level on up. People come from all around the world to be a part of it, no matter how you feel about it. The whole BYU Oklahoma State beef. Yeah, that's a thing. But overall, the sport could be amazing. We already have teams on college campuses with athletes who are willing to go out there and run hard. We just haven't defined what the sport is. There are multiple ways that you could solve the problem. If you just want to have a more engaging conference to national championship structure, I've already talked about that on this channel. How we can make it more engaging or keep the same energy from conference and roll it on down. Because conference championships is about the best thing we're doing in Division I track and field. For that matter, the entire NCAA. But if you don't want to do that, fine. If you just want to make a better TV product, I've already talked about that on this channel. how you can leverage the teams, stratify the meets, get them shorter, cut down the amount of events we actually run. We're not doing prelims to finals anymore. Every race is going to be a race of consequence. Change to how you do the scoring system. And that way we can actually watch a sport product with teams going at it. But even if that's too much work for you, you do realize dual meets are actually a thing. And there are colleges that still do them. And because that is true, if nothing else, the bare minimum, you could have just copied what football was already doing. Just make a college track and field schedule that looks like that. That the teams face off one-on-one, to have an actual regular season schedule, to have a conference champion where two teams face off. And then you can, eliminate teams out on the way to a national title, figure out how you want to do NITs or invitationals or whatever in between there. Like we could have clean win and loss records, shorter meets that somebody could actually go to. Because guess what? There's a whole bunch of people who actually like to watch track and field. I meet a bunch of them, like fringe fans who don't know a whole lot. They don't know who I am. They don't know what I do. Like we might have a conversation and they say, actually, I like track. People who say, if you gave me the opportunity to watch it in a viable product, they would. And they mean that. But we just don't give them that. Right now, we have teams that don't even have schedules posted. And those who do can't tell you when the meet's going to start. And even if they could, they definitely can't tell you when it's going to end. And even if you did come to the meet and could watch the races themselves don't matter. They're just scrimmages and we're running for seed times with a whole bunch of heats that mean absolutely nothing. Like, most of them, that's what it is. Tell me where I'm wrong with this. The national championship meet we have, we basically pretend that we've got teams, but it's really just an all-American meet. I'm not against having an all-American meet. I just think we should call it what it is, and then let actual teams compete for a championship. I don't think it's that hard. People like to watch track and field when they feel like they understand it. And if you're going to throw out there LSU, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Oregon, insert school name here, and put them out there competing in track and field, I personally just want to see them go out there and run like it matters, because it should. No more of this, scrimmage meets where we're just doing seed times to qualify for nationals only. I think it does a disservice to the athletes. I'm pretty sure they're tired of going to meets without having actual fans. And I'm pretty sure they would prefer to get their program, like their program that they compete for, on national television. We don't even have a TV-ready product. So you couldn't put it on TV if you wanted to, because the product isn't ready for it. It doesn't fit within a window. We don't know who's going to run. All these races that don't matter. Watching track and field is a pretty painful process if we're being real. At least on any of the platforms that allow you to do it. ESPN+, FlowTrack, yes, I'm not blaming them. They didn't make the system. They're just airing what we have. But what we have is nowhere near up to code. But yes, the college track and field season is going to happen. And if you made it this far in the video, I know that you're a real one. And I'm going to tell you what I expect to happen between now and the NCAA championship meet, at least through indoors. So here we go. You're going to have the BU time trials for all the top distance runners. That's going to happen. And somewhere in December, we're going to have a bunch of athletes go out there and run 300s more than anything else, because the 300 isn't a real event, but they run it normally at this part of the training. So some of them will be running for the fastest 300 that, on NCAA leaderboards or top 5 all time, whatever. And I'm sure somebody's going to do it. So you might hear about that. And we're even going to have somebody run fast for a small school. They'll be very high on the leaderboards in the 60, just because a lot of the bigger schools aren't going to run it yet. But at that moment, they can say, I'm the fastest in the nation or the fastest in the NCAA. Okay, fine. That's going to happen. And we're going to get to January and February where a whole bunch of meets are going to go down. People are going to go out there and run fast time, the fastest in the world this year in the indoor 200, because nobody runs it. Some of them will hop in, with some of the pros in different meets. But none of that's really going to matter, because when we get to conference championships, everybody's going to pull out the stops, at least in most of the conferences, trying to win. But that's assuming that you have a team that's actually funded well enough to do so. So most conferences, we kind of know who's going to win, because you've got teams that have like half the roster size and almost no scholarship budget, so to speak, competing against others. But we're going to do a conference championship, and it's going to be mostly predictable, but it's going to happen. And it won't matter, because the NCAA indoor championship will just be the top 16 seeds, like seed times, from the regular season scrimmages that I already talked about. And we kind of know who those kids are going to be already. But we'll watch it. And the team title is going to go to one of the usual suspects. It might be Arkansas, it might be Texas Tech, It might even be, Georgia, or something like that. Like somebody's going to, USC. These are the teams that are going to go out there on the men's and the women's side, for the most part, and try to win a national title. And we'll watch it, and somebody's going to be celebrating when it happens, and I'm going to be there to watch all of it. I just wish that other people were able to watch it as well, because it's pretty hard to cover college track and field when they won't even tell you when the meets are, or for that matter, when they are going to start. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a voice in the wilderness. I actually made it all the way to the end of this video. I do have to admit that thank you doesn't do it justice anymore, because you are a real one. And if you want more from me beyond this video, on SCArecruiting.com, you can get a ton of resources, like my free recruiting guide, online courses, and much more, including the option to meet with me one-on-one, where my specialty is helping you figure out which schools might actually be the best fit for you. And if nothing else, and you really just want to see more content like this, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.